Agawam High School Athletic Hall of Fame is very well timed at this point. Dave has done an excellent job of putting this together. A lot of hard work by his mom, Rosemary Stratton, and Joanne Brown. And people are excited throughout the town about this because it does bring up the history of the past and the success of Agawam athletics. So it's great to recognize the people that formed the foundation of athletics, and then hopefully those that are here now will carry it on and make it a great tradition. So, job well done.
I'm so pleased to be here today on our first Athletic Hall of Fame induction dinner. I'm amazed when Dave Stratton told me he was going to have the reception and the serving of food in the gym. I didn't know what that would look like, but when you see that on our video, you're going to be impressed with all the tables set up. It was a great idea to do it that way. And I'd like to thank Dave Stratton for all his hard work, and the chairman of the committee, Mrs. Rosemary Stratton, and her committee for an outstanding job. Something of this magnitude takes a lot of work and effort. You have to set up bylaws, you have to set up criteria, you have to set up protocol, and they did all that, and they have all the documentation. So this is really formally done. It's done in a great way, and my best wishes and congratulations to all those inductees into the first class. And I know the mayor mentioned it earlier that there are many more classes coming. We have a tradition here in Agawam of great coaches, great athletes, and also great contributors. You don't just have to be an athlete or a coach, you can be a contributor as well. And we have many, many well-deserved people that are in the wings waiting and will be inducted over the next several years, so we're looking forward to it. So I'm glad this is finally arrived. It's arrived on a good time. It's timed perfectly with our new athletic complex, which is coincidental, but couldn't be better. And we're very proud of our athletic facility as well as our new Hall of Fame committee and inductees. So thank you.
Good morning. What a wonderful day. This is the first Agawam High School Athletic Hall of Fame induction, something that has been in the plans for quite a while, and we have to thank Mr. Stratton and the superintendent for putting together the committee to choose wonderful athletes from the past and contributors to sports and to teams that have done so well in our community. It's time that we honor those people from the past and work our way up to the present so that we can honor and keep the commitment going to our athletes at the school. This is something I think that will be a remembrance that everybody will enjoy, and I know there's a lot of people who want to be inducted, and hopefully in the future their dreams too will come true. I wish everybody well and thank everybody for putting this wonderful event together.
Hi, my name is Rosemary Stratton. I am the chairperson of the Agawam Athletic Hall of Fame. We started this program last August. We've been working on it well over a year, and we hope today will run very smoothly. We're very happy. We have over 300 people in attendance. The families are all very excited, as we are, and I'm glad that they can see our new facilities, the new athletic facilities, and we welcome everyone and hope we all have a wonderful time.
Well, I mean, it was a long time coming. Agawam High School has a rich and storied tradition in athletics, and I think many of the people who still live in town, not to mention the people who have left town and enjoy coming back to see relatives and friends, are very excited that we've done this and we've put together this particular Hall of Fame, the inaugural Hall of Fame. The committee worked for just about 16 months. Planning and selecting individuals and things like that. They really put in a lot of work and deserve 100% of the credit. And we're very, very proud of this, and hopefully it's a yearly event that'll only continue to get better and become more widely known, so more people can enjoy and come and see the ceremony.
History is great. You always say that people don't live in the past, but learn from the past. And there's a lot of great people that have come through here. And I know this person will not come through, but it's a name that lasts forever, is Creighton Abrams. And I'm in North Carolina at the Citadel at my son's school where he coaches, and there's a plaque for Creighton Abrams. And here's a guy who played football for Agawam. And that's history. And the people that come through here are the 52 Peanut Bowl, stars from before that and after that, but there's nothing like athletics that can really bring people together. So.
The Peanut Bowl event was just an unbelievable thing for the town of for the town of Agawam, and it brought everybody together. We were a very small school. We had 400 students at the time, including girls and boys, and we were selected as second choice to go to the Peanut Bowl and down in Columbus, Georgia, 1951. And I think we had like 39 players on the team, and we were able to take 28. And it was a difficult situation for the coaches and the kids who couldn't make the trip. But it was a wonderful experience. It's something that none of us will ever forget. We were playing the Georgia AA champs. They had won, I believe, 11 games and lost one. We had won 7 games and won 1. And the team that beat us was Greenfield, and they absolutely shellacked us. They beat us 25-0 in the second game of the year. But as times were in those days, they had a black player. So the Peanut Bowl committee from Georgia bypassed them on the offer to play because of the black player. So we were second best in the league that year, and we were very happy to accept and go down there, and I think surprised an awful lot of people. This was a total surprise. I think the fact that Agawam has now got a Hall of Fame, they have a tremendous sports history in most all sports, and it's grown so much because when we were here, as I said, there were 400 people in the whole high school. That's including all grades. So now I don't have any idea what the population is, but the size of the school, the facilities, just tremendous. Although at the time, the football field we had in Agawam, down at Agawam Center, was one of the best in Western Massachusetts as far as quality of field and grass and playing field. So we weren't at any disadvantage there, but I love what's going on here at the high school with all the development. The Peanut Bowl is something that you never forget, and my wife was the Peanut Bowl queen, and we've been married for 64 years, so that's not all bad. And she's here with me today.
I go back to the 1940s, late 40s. Started managing for Harmon Smith. Stayed on after Harmon left and helped Leonardi. And just enjoyed every bit of it. Went to the Peanut Bowl with the Peanut Bowl team. Later on, was elected to the town Park and Rec. Spent over 20-something years there. And once I got a little older, I retired. This one, this is the epitome of a lifetime. This is what we strived for. We tried for about 10 years to get this thing going, but never were able to get it off the ground. Thanks to Dave and Rosemary, they did a heck of a job. And this is what we all worked for.
Very proud moment.
Words, I can't express it.
I think it's great that David Stratton actually organized this to recognize some of the great athletes that came out of Agawam High School. Obviously I'm proud of my dad and what he accomplished, having played for him in high school, being my high school football coach, and seeing what he did for all the players before I was there and after I went through. So I think it's great. Love coming back and seeing the family and a lot of friends as well. Obviously coming out of the National Football League, he had a lot of experience and knew the game. He worked with the Hartford Knights. He started a program at Westfield State College, but coming back and working with the high school players, and he related to the kids. I enjoyed playing for him. it was great. He had great coaches with him. A couple of the high school gym teachers were coaches. So I think he gave a lot to the kids, gave a lot to the players, and I think they all enjoyed it. We had a ceremony last season. We came back, and a lot of his players came back to see him. So that was nice to see that they remembered him and they appreciated everything he did.
I was really happy that Mr. Stratton asked me to be on the committee for the Agawam High School Athletic Hall of Fame, and I've been teaching here and coaching here a long time. So all the history of this town and the athletics is really interesting to me, and we're really into it, and I'm really looking forward to the day. It's going to be nice to see the people that have come back that don't live here anymore, and being a member of the town, I know all these people and heard of all these people, so it's really going to be an exciting day. Well, a few of the people that are going in today have passed away, which Harm Smith has passed away, and Mr. Kibbe has died, who I was really, really close with. He was the AD when I started coaching here and teaching here, and I'm looking forward to see his wife and his family.
I'm most proud of the teams, just as a sports guy, as a former coach and athlete. I think the team accolades are always the most precious, I think, to athletes. It's nice to be recognized as an individual, but I think that, so our teams are the 1940 football team, which Ed Nielsen was the quarterback of that team, is with us today. The 1951 Peanut Bowl football team, which if you live in Agawam and you haven't heard of the Peanut Bowl, you probably haven't left the house. Many of those gentlemen that played on the team are here, along with some of the cheerleaders from that era. And the 1987 girls state champion soccer team is being recognized today, and they were a terrific team. Back in a time where they never went to penalty shootouts, they actually removed players from the field and continued playing. And they actually were co-champs, which is probably one of the few times that's ever happened, that there was actually two state champions. So it's those are the ones I'm most proud of. But of course, we have the individuals. We have Coach Debbie Lickley, who one of the best softball coaches to ever grace Agawam High School, 4 Western Mass championships and 1 state final. She was at 1 state final, as well as winning numerous league championships. We have Harm Smith, who our field is named after. He was the first athletic director here at Agawam. And Cliff Kibbe is also being recognized as a contributor. Harry Leonardi as a coach, a very famous coach that we had here. And then we have the individuals. All 8 individuals are just fantastic, the individual athletes. So we're very excited to have a lot of their family here. Some of our awards are posthumous, unfortunately, but we're very excited to have the family here.
It's been a great experience for me for 24 years, 10 years coaching, wonderful, wonderful kids and wonderful parents. And I was fortunate that I had those kids and the parents as well, and great coaches with Missy Sullivan and Kathy Georgina. And I'm happy that Kathy's carried on the tradition. And Agawam softball is pretty darn good. I'm honored to be with the kids and the teams and the coaches. All of that's it's a great thing, and I'm so looking forward to the day.
Well, it's being part of athletics and being part of a team is so exciting, and sports is such a big part of your life, and to have it be recognized so many years later, it's actually nice to relive those memories, to share them with your children. I wasn't able to go to school with my sister, but now we're being inducted together, me for my team and her by herself, so it's exciting, and it's a nice family get-together, and it's nice to meet old friends.
Yeah, and I think it's just a great honor, but it tells the story of all the great coaches, all the great teammates that we had along the way, that, none of this would be possible without, your team and your coaches. But it's nice to have your family here and celebrate, and having Karen's team. I was a ball girl on their team in '87, so that was nice. It's a nice little reception.
We played on the 1987 state co-state champ soccer team. We went to the finals and played at WPI, and unfortunately we ended up playing for a few hours, I forget how many, but too many, and we went down to 5-on-5, and there was just never any goals, and so we were declared state co-champs, and it was great because the camaraderie that keeps going as you're going, it's the highest level you could get, and that fuels you, and you build those relationships, and it's great, and it's so nice to see so many of them have come today to be a part of it. They changed the rule after we were co-champs, so now they go down in penalty kicks. At the time when we played, they were taking people off the field, so we played a sudden death with 11-on-11, 2 sudden death, and then we played 9v9 sudden death, and we played 7v7 sudden death, and then we went all the way down to 5v5 sudden death. So, and that was a big field up at WPI to be playing 5v5, but again, yeah, we fought hard, and you know, it was co-champs, but it's still a great accomplishment.
This means a lot to us on the school committee. This is a big event. It's honoring all the athletes from the past, and we've had some really good athletes, and I'm very proud of all of them, and I think it's a great thing for some of the people that were part of Agawam High School way back when, and to recognize all the parts that they contributed to it.
And I think it's great to recognize not only the athletes and the accomplishment, but everyone who supported them along the way to get there. So I think that makes this induction really special, because it's this global appreciation of the athletes, the coaches, the sponsors, people who have really been part of the community to support all of these teams for their efforts. So congratulations to all of them. We're very proud. I just was talking to a woman who said, I could only take gym in the small gym. In her generation, the girls weren't allowed in the large gym. She said, this is one of the first times I've been in this big gymnasium to have our luncheon today. So the history of from when girls were separated in PE class to now we have a locker room facility for the girls team that we're doing this year. To hear the stories throughout the generations today, very exciting.
I also saw an older gentleman with a Letterman sweater on from way back then, and that is very cool. So we're very proud to be here.
We're all close friends. We're all very proud of being here to bring our family and my children to see each other again after all these time when we were so close. We were inseparable for 4 years, pretty much, all the girls.
Yes.
In school and out. And then
Yeah, no, we grew up playing soccer together, so that was the team where we were all still playing together and got to the States, and nobody's done that before for girls soccer, so it brings back all those memories, which is really cool to have those memories.
Lots of fun memories.
Yeah, and they did a fantastic job organizing it. It turned out great, and it's great to see the other inductees too, especially the all Peanut Bowl team and all the really old teams that we hadn't heard about before, so this is great.
It's so nice to see so many athletes and family members and friends, and I'm so proud that, to be associated, with the Agawam Public Schools and participating not only as an athlete but in the central office as a superintendent of schools. I'm very, very proud.
I think it was held very well by the Stratton family. They did a great job. Rosemary and Dave and the whole committee did a wonderful job with it today. It was very nice to see all the people come out today and show their support for the Agawam sports. It was really a really nice thing. I got to meet a lot of ex-teammates of my father, which meant a lot to our family, and got to sit at the same table next to Turk Bruno, who broke my father's record, was one of the best football players to ever come out of Agawam. Like I say, I think it was really a wonderful day. The way they put it on in the gym, I didn't think it would come out this way, and I tell you what, I thought it was a really superb event that they put on. Really, yeah.
I worked with Cliff Kibbe for 30 years. I was his assistant basketball coach, and then I was the varsity baseball coach. I also was Cliff's assistant in athletics. And I observed many, from 1968 until 2000, actually. Just about every athletic event that went on here. I thought they did a very good job selecting the athletes that were selected. I was Tommy Quinn's coach in baseball. And unfortunately, I don't think they gave Tommy enough credit for baseball. They had one thing, he pitched a no-hitter against Long Meadow. He actually won 25 games in 3 years, which is phenomenal for high school baseball because you only play 20 games a year like that. He was 25-7 and held a lot of Western Mass records in baseball. As far as the athletes that they chose, many of them I didn't know because they were here before, but I think they did an outstanding job with it, no question. I'm sure that in the future years we do just as good a job selecting the athletes and the coaches and contributors.
Hi, I'm Joanne Juth, and I just want to say what a wonderful day I've had at the Agawam High School. I accepted an award on behalf of my father, Harmon A. Smith, and it's just been awesome. And I wish everybody could experience what I experienced today. Thanks.
Thank you very much for your patience. I know it's a long line getting there, but it looks as if most everyone has a seat. If we don't, please let us know, and I'll make sure you do us. Like I said, good afternoon. Welcome to the first annual Agawam High School Athletic Hall of Fame induction. It's a very exciting time for everyone. It's exciting for us as it is for all of you in attendance. If you would indulge me, would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? If you're able to, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a brief moment of silence. I'd like to take this time to recognize anyone that you have lost personally recently, but also all of our inductees that we are unfortunately inducting posthumously. Please let's have a moment of silence in remembrance of them. Thank you very much. Please be seated. For those of you who I don't know, and I'm seeing a lot of old friends and glad we have name tags. My name is Dave Stratton. I'm the director of athletics here at Agawam High School, a position I'm very, very proud to hold, especially today. Very proud of this event, as I know many of you are, and it's historic facilities. Agawam High School has had a rich tradition of athletic excellence that continues to this day. As the athletic director at Agawam, I'm very proud of our past and present student athletes' accomplishments both on and off the field. As an example, I did a little research out there when we were looking at the trophy list. As an example, this is just since the formation of the MIAA and the PBIAC, which is really only dates back into the early 80s. So these numbers probably aren't as accurate as they would be if I had access to a lot of those records previously. But the thing to remember is state champion was sometimes hard to tell back before there was a state association. So since the formation of our state association, the MIAA and the PBIC, of which Mr. Conkey is in charge of, Agawam has won 6 state championships. We've had 11 state final appearances. We've won 49 district championships, that means Western Mass or West champions. We've had countless appearances there. We've had 118 league championships. And we've had, the thing that I'm very proud of, 22 sportsmanship awards. Now, for those of you who don't know how those are given, it's not, well, Agawam came last, let's give them a sportsmanship award. That's not how it goes. You're nominated the same way that many of the Hall of Famers were nominated for induction today, and you're voted on by several committees at the state level. So that's something that I know that Mr. Conkey was proud of, and I know that the athletic directors previous to him were also very proud of, and so on. Agawam is a sports town, and a high school a gentleman, Mike Martin, who coached for us for a while. Many of you might play for him, and Jimmy Blaine was over at Chickadee Comp. They were really helpful to me to get that started. We researched Hall of Fames across the country. Because of the internet, it's great. People put their bylaws and induction criteria and things like that online. So, after researching bylaws and criteria for assignment, I reached out to what I feel is a pretty diverse group of individuals that really took the responsibility of Hall of Fame committee members seriously. And I really and truly believe that a lot of the people that I reached out to, and not everybody said yes, some people didn't have the time, but I believe that everybody that we reached out to really took this job very seriously. They were very, very stressed out about it in a way, because they wanted to make sure they were doing right by the community and by the high school and just historically, because we have such a rich history there. I'm very proud of the job the Athletic Hall of Fame Committee has done, and it's my pleasure to introduce them to you at this time. If you would, committee members, you need to recognize, just stand up and don't be shy. So, and if I miss somebody, make sure you yell out at me. I wrote this on my iPad about 10 minutes ago. First AHS alum, Jerry O'Keefe. AHS alum, Tommy Connell. Former AHS coach, teacher, and basically helps me out at every turn, Barbara Stevens. AHS alum and former AHS teacher, Joanne Brown. AHS alum and chief historian, Vito DiPaolo. AHS alum, Joanne Juth. AHS alum, teacher and coach, Dean Vecchiarelli. And, it's someone I'm pretty close to. The chair of the committee, AHS alum, retired teacher and coach, Rosemary Stratton. I'd like to sincerely thank the Hall of Fame committee members for their hard work over the last 16 months. After we got our committee together, Tom reminded me not too long ago, geez, we were meeting on your mother's deck, in the summertime, I believe it was July or August, Jerry, I don't know, maybe, I can't remember, but it was a really, really long process, meeting a couple of times a month, just to get this done. So I really appreciate their hard work, and I think it was more than appropriate that they're certainly recognized for everything they've done. I'll do that a few more times today before we finish. At this time, one of my mentors, before I move on any further, one of my mentors, and I'm very, very fortunate to have this gentleman as my boss. I played hockey for him. He probably was one of the best coaches I ever had, Mr. Williams, the superintendent of schools. Please come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Dave. Welcome everyone today. This is an outstanding event, and I'd just like to give a tremendous round of applause to the committee for the wonderful work they did. You just look around you. When they first told me they wanted to have this in the gym, I said, we got that beautiful big cafeteria across the hall. Why would you have it in the gym? Now I know why. It makes all the sense in the world. So great job to Mrs. Rosemary Stratton and her committee for an outstanding job. Thank you. If you live in this town, like I have, was brought up in this town, I graduated from Agawam High, came back and became a teacher administrator. It means a lot to you to have an event like this, and it's long overdue. Today, when I came here, I got here early so I could see a lot of the people and talk to them before the event started. And it was amazing how many people I'd seen, and I hadn't seen in such a long time. And it brings back memories. That's what community is about. That's what the community spirit is about. And you look around, 70s, if you look around, that the MIAA really organized state tournaments and state championships. And unfortunately, prior to that, Agawam had a deep, rich tradition in sports. It was very successful in sports back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. And unfortunately, you don't see a lot of that around, but if you look around, as you go through this afternoon, take a look at some of these banners for some of the years. These are outstanding accomplishments from many, many teams, many coaches, many athletes. What I was most impressed with is the committee coming up with a category of contributors. Because many people coach, many people are athletes, but the contributors are just as important because without them, we couldn't have a lot of the success that we have. So I'm very pleased and honored to be the superintendent of schools. One of the inductees is a very close friend of mine, somebody that helped me with my mentor. Dave mentioned me as his mentor, Jim Bruno. Jim Bruno, as you all know, was the superintendent of schools, an outstanding athlete, but he was also an outstanding superintendent of schools. And Jim Bruno was the person that hired me as a teacher in my first administrative position. And I can't thank Jim enough, and it's so great to see Jim today, so I'd like to personally thank Jim Bruno for all he's done for me, so thank you. Once again, I'm very impressed with the committee. To do something like this, you're taking risks, because we all know, myself as a former athlete coach, you think of all the people you know who you thought in your own mind, maybe this one should have been inducted, maybe that one should have been inducted, or maybe that person should have been listed as a contributor. And no matter what, you're never going to get it right in some people's minds. I think they did an outstanding job, and what I was most impressed with is they had criteria. They had protocol. So they had reasons and rationales for everything they did. Could this one have been in or that one have been? Of course they could. The line has to be drawn somewhere, and I'm very proud of the selections they made. There are many more of these ceremonies to come. Many of these great athletes that weren't inducted today will be inducted in the future. And just be patient. And I can say this right now, I would like to congratulate each and every one of those inductees that are present today and their families. And remember one thing, there was only one first induction, and you were part of that class. So you should be very honored and privileged. And with that, I congratulate each and every one of you. And I thank Dave for all his hard work. You know, he talks about the committee and everybody else around him. He really takes credit for anything. And he should. He's done an outstanding job. As his predecessor, a good friend of mine, and a teammate, Luke Conti, who was in the audience, who was also involved with this, as a principal and principal. So thank all of you for this day. I appreciate you inviting me. I appreciate you carrying out this event, and I hope everybody enjoys themselves very much. Thank you.
Next, I'd like Mayor Cohen to come up and just give us a few brief words.
Wow. I thought about what I would say or what I could say that would really be as great and momentous as this occasion is. And I think the words that come to my mind is the word community in Agawam. We are a community that truly cares not only about athletics, but about its residents, its athletics, education, and the community as a whole. And you can see that it goes way back, and I told Jack I was going to make him stand up, because I think Jack is the only person to ask it. Jack, stand up, show everybody that sweater. That is something that is pride, and something that as a former hockey coach, people say, oh, it's a loss, you won't remember it, or it's a win, you won't remember it. That Jack still has his sweater, and that so many of us are here to pay tribute, shows the importance of the athletics and the community that we build through athletics that is so important to the development of the mind, the body, and recognize so many of you who have been inducted in the first Agawam High School Athletic Hall of Fame because you, not only on the field, were successful, but as individuals, as human beings, and as people who understand the importance of community. So I want to thank Dave Stratton, who worked so hard, of course, Luke Conti, who was so instrumental in helping get the new field. How many people saw the new field on their way in? That is a tribute to athletes in the past, athletes in the present, and our future athletes who deserve to have a top-notch class facility that they can be proud of, but it's also open to the residents to be able to walk and to do things to maintain a healthy mind and body. So I welcome you. I'm so proud to be your mayor and to be here to celebrate this momentous occasion. But from my heart, the words I have to say is thank you. God bless.
Overall, God, this week for now with reference to the mind body, please. Thank you both for speaking. I'd like to recognize just a couple of distinguished guests that are here with us today before we get going with the good stuff, which is behind us. I'd like to recognize school committee member Wendy Gruen. Wendy? School committee member Shelby Brigadi. My former neighbor and town councilor Paul Apollo. Assistant Superintendent of Schools Allison McClare. He has a big title, but I call him Assistant Superintendent of Schools Rob Quickstein. And I know Donnie Rowe came in here as well. Not Donnie, you here, can you just stand? Donnie Rowe, town councilor Donnie Rowe. And of course, my good friend, AHS Principal Steve Lemansky. Without a guy like Steve, I'd be underwater. Partners Restaurant is prepared and catered a terrific lunch for us. Please wait for the server to come around and let your table out when it's your turn to come up to the buffet. And after everybody has had a nice lunch, we'll come back and we'll begin the induction ceremony per se after lunch. So please enjoy your meal and we'll be back soon. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to begin our awards portion of the second ceremony. And that's, of course, why we're here. But at the same time, I think it's great. The camaraderie has been fun. It really has. This has been a lot better than I ever imagined. So thank you very much for being here. Now, basically, I was raised in a coach's house, for better or for worse. I refer to my father as the old man. That's not that. It's actually a term of endearment. Even when he was still around, he kind of got a kick out of the fact that I called him the old man. So anyway, the old man always taught me that the team stuff comes first. So we're going to begin with the teams. And I think many of us here, even the people that are being inducted as individuals, would agree wholeheartedly that without their teammates, they really wouldn't be able to achieve the things that they did. So, that being said, the first team that I would like to talk about, there's really, that I know of, there's only one gentleman still around, still here celebrating with us here today. It's the 1940 football team. Just as a housekeeping kind of information, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the team. There's no personal speeches or anything else except for Mr. Nielsen. He's the lone member of the 1940 1940 team. I have asked him to just briefly say a couple of things, and he is excited to do that. The Agawam High School football team in 1940, coached by Herman Smith, won the Western Mass Championship led by quarterback Ed Nielsen, who was also an outstanding basketball and track athlete, and the scoring of Joe Pisano, who was named to the Western Mass Honor Roll along with Leo DeForge, Bob Healy, and John Walker. Members of this remarkable team included the following: seniors Ed Nielsen, Alfred Daglio, Joe Pisano, John Walker, Leo DeForge, Phil DeForge, Bob Healy, Robert Brady, Edmund Nassa, Robert Rotman, Robert Oliver, Norman Rainer, Robert Fenn. The juniors on the team were Noel Brown, William Janowski Jr., Sam Grimaldi, Fred Jezierski, Jordan Jones, Ed Mason, Charles Taylor, and the sophomores Frank Musgrasso, Ralph Haywood, Julian Martin Ardera, Rob McPhail, William Conner, Harlan Smith Jr. And the freshmen, they probably got in: Jerry Cassidy, Phil DePalma, Henry Fortier, and Ernie Stolper. At this time, I would like Ed Nielsen to come forward to accept the award for the 1940 football team.
First thing that I would like to say is that I'm so thankful that we have a person like Rosemary Stratton and her committee to make this such a memorable day. And I also have to tell you that I'm the last one of the starting lineup of the 1940 football team. And everything at that time was football, you know. So consequently, I have a great memory. Well, I can remember every coach in the Connecticut Valley here, and I'll tell you, they were great coaches. But none was better than Harlan Smith. And I played basketball and track. In fact, Joe was not on that we were very close, even after our years of graduating. And I think he felt we were one of his favorite teams, and he had coached a lot of teams. And I know our record was in 1940, we had a record of 8-0 in Western Massachusetts. We were selected as the best team in football in Western Mass. The last game we played was in Watertown, New York. And if you can imagine, Harlan took us all over the countryside to play football. And the coach up there in Watertown graduated from Springfield College with Harlan. And we lost 9-6. We still were Western Mass champs because that particular game was way away from Western Mass. And I looked it up here. one of the greatest halfbacks this school has ever had. And at that particular time, he scored 152 points to become the record touchdown football player in Western Massachusetts. And he held that record for a good many years until Turk Burman came along. And Turk Burman is, I think, still has it, you know? And anyway, we have an 8-0 record, and I'm so thankful that I was asked to speak for the football team of 1940. I'm not much of a speaker, but I'm what you would call the last of the Mohicans. It's certainly wonderful to have so many people here today, and my family, and my grandchildren, my daughter, my son, and two daughter-in-laws are here. So I think that's about all I should say. But I have to give a lot of credit to Rosemary Stratton, who had to do a lot of work. This is a memorable day, you know. And I still have in 1940, I don't know how many red sweaters, but I know I got one, you know. I have two things in my life that I really cherish. One is my Eisenhower jacket from World War II. And, you know, it's a funny thing. I was with the 10th Division, 800th Division, and Fred Abrams, who graduated in 1932, became a 4-star general. He had a highway in the industrial park, remember him. And would you believe that and I came along with the 10th Division, and we were part of the Battle of the Bulge, you know? And then later in life, my great aunt had a sister Betty that lived up here in Feet Mills, almost near the Sunoco station. And when I went in to go get gasoline, I thought of a Virginia number plate. And what do you think about it? Great neighbors. And then, what a coincidence, you know? And he became a 4-star general. And I've always felt that, and you coach, if you were a student of Ernest, you would have a lot. I just mentioned, I don't want to mention, talk too loud, but he said to me one day, he said, you know something, give me a couple of times. He says, and I'll make a football team. He also said to me, and he was again for Springfield College when he was here. He also was voted the most valuable player in New England when he was at Springfield College. A couple of other things I don't want to keep on going. I never forgot you when I watched football. He said, if you play in that right thing, don't let the play get around you. Always keep the play inside. And another thing he would say is, when we were ready to go up on the field to play, he sat us down in the benches along the gymnasium, something like what we have right here. And he would tell us, these days you're going to remember the rest of your life playing football for Agawam. And I always remember, he said, I just took a look out there, got a big crowd today, which Agawam football team always improved big crowds. And he said, you know, they have a lot of prestige have been a boy. So we moved out and graduated from high school. You were the man. And that was it.
Thank you. All right, I mentioned a lot of things about some people that are in the 51 team, but we'll just keep going. So, maybe not. 1951 football team is our second team. Following the regular season in 1951, the Agawam High School football team, coached by Harm Smith, was invited to represent the North in the Peanut Bowl held in Columbus, Georgia, to showcase the best of high school teams. The cost to travel and stay at the game so far away was $7,000, a huge sum. Most of the money was raised by the Agawam Lions Club and the Peanut Bowl Fund Committee, with backing from almost everybody in town. Due to the expense, team had to be cut to 28 people. Those were some hard decisions for Coach Smith and Larry Mulvey, two coaches. The Agawam boys played those from Richmond Academy of Augusta, Georgia, and won the game 20-12 behind a particularly strong defense of Stanley Shimalusi, who pressured the Richmond center so hard that the quarterback could not make the plays he normally did. And Bob Kuchar, who was awarded the MVP title for his excellent defense as well as the key interception that changed the course of the game. Running back Al Judy Fontana led the team with 105 yards, 55 of which came on a stellar run for a touchdown. Also contributing major yardage toward the winning score were Bill Connett with 92 and Stu Kibbe with 73. Members of the football team include seniors William Keeley, Rich Flashbaum, William Boyd, Norm Murray, who I just narrowed my miles. Dan Garofaldi, Frank Stoll, Stan Shimaluski, Alfred Fontana, Stu Kibbe, William Garnett, and Terry Woodbury. Juniors were Rich Dick Hall, Clem Hobbs, Rich Augustowitz, John Rassi, Rich San Georgi, Donald Stahl, Robert Kuchar, and sophomores were Roger LeClaire, John Cardone, Phil Cardone, Roland Murphy, Joe Slitch, Jimmy O'Keefe, Irving Brooks, Charlie Chick Mitchell, Ray Saracino, and the lone freshman was Luke Calabrese. With those that are present, along with Dick Hall, who will be accepting the plaque, with members of the 1951 Peanut Bowl football team, please step forward and grab your hands. Thank you very much for being here. Okay, so our final team, certainly last but certainly not least, I was, my first year out of Springfield College when this team went all the way in 1987. I was teaching in Springfield. I remember this team vividly. Just an aside, Coach Bill O'Brien and I go way back. He was one of my first coaches. Coached my dad and son. Okay, so 1987 girls soccer team. The girls soccer team in 1987, coached by Bill O'Brien, assisted by Melissa Sullivan, was the first Agawam girls team to ever play for a state title. They went 15-1 in the regular season, and they won the Western Mass Championship. After winning the state semifinals, they played Andover to a 0-0 tie in a state final. Many of you that are soccer people know they go to penalty kicks now. That particular year, they didn't. Actually took players off the field, as crazy as that sounds. But they were looking for a way to find a definitive winner. And I think that might be the only time that there was ever a tie in the state final. Players were taken off the field, as I said, only 5 were left on each team, so no shootouts were there. Members of this outstanding team include the following: Debbie Alabama, Melissa Brown, Katie Burns, Bree Cosgrove, Melissa Dano, Melissa DeRocha, Kelly Ernst, Paul Fieldstad, Michelle Fitzgerald, Alana Graham, Marlo Montesi, Karen Dodson, Jennifer Scaggs, Tracy Sytek, Kelly Sullivan, Michelle Urbanati, Beth Whitaker, and Kelly Wright. Would Coach Bill O'Brien please come forward and the members of the 1987 girls soccer team come forward to be recognized. Somebody take a knee. Someone's got to take a knee or stand. I'm very sorry. I did not read Kathy Skaggs' name, so I'm going to look at Kathy Skaggs. I'm very sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1987 state championship girls soccer team. I'm very proud of them. Now we move forward to the individual recognitions. We had quite a few nominations and the way we did our nominations were you could be nominated as a player, an athlete, as a coach, or as a contributor. There's several people that are going to be recognized that could have been any of those things, because they were all of them. It's just a way for us to recognize people that maybe didn't have an athletic career here, but were instrumental in the athletic program here at Agawam High School. So as we move forward, I just like to keep those things in mind. So we move first, and rightfully so. Our first inductee as an individual is Harm Smith. Harmon Smith began his teaching and coaching career at Agawam High School in 1924, following graduation from Springfield College. While teaching physical education, he also took on the job of head football coach, a position he held until 1955. Over the course of his 31-year coaching, he amassed a record of 138 wins, 55 losses, and 15 ties. Among his team records were 7 undefeated seasons and 6 others with only 1 loss. In 1951, his 1951 team represented the Northern Peanut Ball in Columbus, Georgia, defeating the Georgia State champion Richmond Academy 20-12. In 1956, he was appointed to be the first athletic director of Agawam High School and coached basketball and baseball and then started a golf program. Also that year, the town honored him by naming the football stadium field after him. To this day, it is still Harmon or Harmon Mason. In 1960, he became the second inductee into the Massachusetts High School Football Coaches Hall of Fame. Would Tom Canada and Joanne Juth and family please come forward to accept the award for our first inductee, Coach Harmon Smith. Our second inductee, also a very famous coach at Agawam High School, Harry Leonardi. Harry Leonardi began his coaching career at Agawam High School in 1942, following his graduation from Springfield College. After serving as a classroom teacher and assistant football coach for several years, he became head coach in 1954 and then from 1956 through 1967. Over the course of his 13 years as head coach, his overall record was 64 wins, 29 losses, and 5 ties. His teams won the Western Mass Championship 5 times, 3 of them consecutively, from 1964 through 1966, when they won 22 games in a row. His first Western Mass Championship team in 1957 was undefeated and set a record of 333 points that year. Harry also coached basketball from 1954 to 1968 and baseball from 1957 to 1959. Many of his players credit him with their being named All-Western Mass and with helping them start their college athletic careers. Would Coach Ed Modulewski please come forward to accept the award on behalf of the family of Harry Leonardi. Okay, next one's my buddy. Those of you that know me know I love getting rid of this song. Alright, Debbie Whitley began her coaching career at Agawam High School in 1986. She graduated from Linden State College in Vermont. I like to pick on her about Vermont, but she graduated from the school in Vermont, and where she played basketball and softball and was inducted into the Linden State Hall of Fame. She began working in Agawam as a physical education teacher at the elementary level at Phelps School, and then moved over to the Agawam Middle School, where she and I shared an office for more than 1 or 2 years. She started her coaching as an assistant basketball with Coach Bucanti, and then in softball as well. And in 1990, she became the head coach of the softball program. And that's when things took off here from the softball perspective. Debbie's teams went on to dominate the 90s by winning 3 league championships in 95, 96, 98, and 4 Division I Western Mass championships in 90, 95, 96, and 98. Her teams were consistently present in the MIAA sectional and state playoffs. And in the 90 team, actually reached the state finals, but lost a very close game to Bishop Fenwick, 2-1, which Debbie and I still talk about. Debbie has always been a competitor, but the success of her athletes was her greatest concern. She cared deeply for her student athletes and always tried to prepare them for the years beyond AHS. Debbie retired from coaching in 1990, but continued to teach physical education at what is now known as the Deering School, named after her Deering, until her retirement in 2014. Please join me in recognizing one of my very good friends. I'm sorry. Debbie Wilson. Okay, I'm sorry. Usually that's when I talk about the that's very special. All right, next, hits keep on coming. Our next inductee is, you're sitting in his room, is Coach Cliff Kibbe. We can call him Coach, we can call him AD, we can call him athlete, we can call him contributor, we can call him anything. He's instrumental in the athletic program here, both as a coach and as an AD. And he certainly makes mark as an athlete. Cliff Kibbe contributed to Agawam sports in every way possible, beginning when he made the varsity football team as a 7th grader. He was a running back on the football team, though through his senior year and also played basketball and track. He went on to Suffield Academy and then to Villanova for 1 year until he returned home to help his family following his father's heart attack. He attended Springfield College, where he played football, working nights, which was quite an accomplishment. After his service in the U.S. Army, Cliff began his teaching and coaching career in Portland, Maine, but soon after took a position teaching physical education at Agawam Junior High and coaching football. 5 years later, he moved to the high school, where he continued to coach football, basketball, and track from 1962 to 1974. Once Cliff became athletic director, he prided himself especially on bringing girls' sports to AHS, beginning with basketball and track, and also for introducing soccer and wrestling as school sports programs. Among other activities, he served as president of the District Referees Association and on the executive board of the PDIAC. That board named him Athletic Director of the Year in 1988. Among other honors he received was the naming of the high school gym, which we're sitting in now. Cliff always kept in touch with his athletes and helped many of them get scholarships for various colleges. He truly considered his athletes and extended family. Would you please join me in welcoming Mrs. Kibbe and family to accept the award on behalf of Clifford Kibbe. Thank you, Mrs. Kibbe. All right. As we move along, our next recipient, we had to kind of sneak up on him because he's a committee member, but I think to leave him out as a contributor would be a big mistake, and that's to go to Paul. Vito was a member of the Agawam High School class of 1947 and managed the football, basketball, baseball, and track teams for all of the years he was at the school. Following graduation, he stayed on to assist Coach Harmon Smith and Harry Leonardi with the football teams. From 1950 to 1966, Vito was elected to the Agawam Parks and Recreation Commission, and in 1986 was honored with the Citizen Award for Exemplary Service to the town of Agawam by the City Council. Vito is a living encyclopedia of sports information on town teams and athletes, and is always willing to act as the unofficial town historian in these areas. He was absolutely invaluable to us when it came to doing this. So please join me in welcoming Vito DiPaolo. Moving on to our next recipient, is, I don't know how many jobs he had, I don't know, but he's pretty much run it off and talked about him. And his protege, Bill Scully, followed right around, and that's James Turk Bruno. James Turk Bruno, member of the Agawam High School class of 1958, played football starting in the 8th grade, a year in which he actually scored some points. He earned all-Western Mass honors during those years and is particularly noted scoring 28 touchdowns and totaling 174 points in 1957, when he broke the record previously held by Joe Pisano. He was named to the All-American Football Team by Scholastic Magazine in his senior year. In addition to football, he also played 4 years of basketball and 3 years of baseball. Jim went on to play football on scholarship at the University of Miami. He contributed greatly to its 1961 team that participated in the Liberty Bowl. Following college graduation, he began teaching in the Agawam school system and eventually held the position of superintendent from 1981 to 1991 when he retired. Please join me in welcoming and celebrating James Turk Bruno. Congratulations. Okay, the next one I'm very familiar with. I used to take care of her when I was the athletic trainer. Without a doubt, one of my favorites. He's saying, again, one of my favorites, I have very fond memories of this woman. I'm very proud of her. Kristen Patterson Hutchison. Kristen Patterson Hutchison, a member of the Agawam High School class of 1998, was the ultimate free sport athlete. She played soccer all 4 years and was named All-Western Mass in 95, 96, and 97, as well as All-State in All New England in 96 and 97. In 1997, she was also named All-American and Western Mass Player of the Year. Additionally, she was named All-Western Mass all 4 years of playing basketball, was the USA Today Player of the Year in 97 and 98, and the MVP of the Coca-Cola Classic. She excelled in softball as well and was named All-Western Mass all 4 years and Western Mass Player of the Year in 97. She set Agawam's record for the most stolen bases, which is 144. Kristen went on to play all three sports at American International College, where she earned similar conference and national recognition, and was inducted into the AIC Athletic Hall of Fame. She has been the head women's basketball coach in AIC since 2007, and this year was named Northeast 10 and Northeast Regional Coach of the Year. Please join me in welcoming Kristen Patterson. Congratulations to the played football from 1951 to 1953. It was named the first team All-Western Mass during his senior year. He went on to play football at Trinity College in Hartford, where he set several records that still exist today. It was named Little All-American in 1959. He was drafted into the NFL for the Chicago Bears, and over the course of 7 seasons with them, he was part of the NFL World Championship game in 1963. In the 1965 season, he kicked 52 for 52 extra points. That still remains a Bears record today. He retired from professional football in 1967 after one last season playing with the Denver Broncos, which is why Fran told me was actually the team who tried to draft him first. Following his retirement, he began a teaching career in Agawam that lasted 29 years. During that time, he coached the Hartford Knights, the football and golf teams at Agawam High School, and started the football program at Westfield State University. It's doing very well, I would say. Please join me in welcoming Coach Roger LeClaire and family to that.
My memory, as you can tell, is not very good. But this story I was going to tell you was when I was in 1963, the year we won the championship. One of the defensive tackles got hurt, I had to go in. So I went into the game as a defensive tackle for a guard inside. Well, the other team saw this. I think it was what was that team? The Detroit Lions. Okay? They had a guard or a tackle that was an All-American team. One of the great linemen in the history of the game. I was lined up right over his head. So he pulled out to run a sweep. Being a rookie, I didn't know what was happening. He ran, I was supposed to follow him. But he ran away. They gave the ball to the fullback, this Greek fullback, right? And I got it. Got out of the ground, he looked at that tackle kid. He left the game. That was it. That's my story about my friend.
Congratulations, Ron. It's special. Jim Brown. The guy that was just told me just told the guy exactly was Jim Brown. So that's a pretty good example. The next inductee is a guy I was just lucky enough to play when we were in high school together when we played that old man summer league. And he was still in high school, but that's the high school kids did get better. And it's Rick Perot. Rick Perot was a member of the Agawam High School class in 1988. Played soccer and hockey for all 4 years in school. As an outstanding freshman soccer player, he led the team with 27 points, 17 goals, and 10 assists. And followed that with sophomore season in which he had 19 points, 16 goals, and 3 assists. Rick was named to the All-Western Mass first team all 4 years, and was the Sunday Republicans Athlete of the Week in his junior year. He actually set the single game scoring record of 5 goals and 2 assists. Behind his outstanding scoring, the soccer team won its first ever Western Mass title in his junior year, beating Powerhouse Hardball with a shocking victory. And what isn't listed here in his bio is that he was also an outstanding hockey player in Agawam High School. One of the finest we've ever had there. So please welcome and congratulating Rick Perot. Congratulations, Rick. Well deserved. Next, I can't believe the people that are inducted. It's tremendous. Our next inductee, you know the family well, especially the younger members, Joe Pisano. Joe Pisano, a member of the Agawam High School class of 1941, played football from 1937 to 1940 and was named All-Western Mass in 1938 and 39. In 1940, he played on the team that won the Western Mass Championship, set a scoring record of 152 points, and was presented the most valuable player trophy. He also played basketball and baseball, a sport for which he was also named All-Western Mass. He went on to play football on a full scholarship at North Carolina State University for 2 years until he left to fight in World War II. Upon his return in 1947, he played semi-professional football on a team that won its championship. Joe remained an ardent fan of all Agawam sports for the rest of his life. And I was very fortunate, when I came in as the athletic trainer, he was at a lot of games, and I really got to know him a little bit, which was really great. Would sons Joe and Don and family please come up and accept the award, the recognition for Joseph Pisano. Just as a point of reference to our press box on Smith Field, which is surrounded by Lewis County track, is the press box is named for Joe Pisano. That's the sign isn't up there, but it's still Joe Pisano press box. I've been rededicated in some way to this, and so I just wanted to let everybody may not know. That's the name of our press box. We like to make things up. Okay, our last inductee, and certainly not least by a long shot, is Tommy Quinn. Tommy Quinn, a member of the Agawam High School class of 1975, played football, basketball, and baseball while at Agawam High School. As quarterback of the football team in his senior year, Tom won the Outstanding Senior Trophy as well as the MVP award. In basketball, Tom made All-Western Mass and was designated the top shooter from any range, having averaged 24 points per game. This is, of course, before the three-point shot. The local newspaper cited him as the MVP of all winter sports that year, as he had broken a long-standing 1,000-point scoring record and also set a single-game scoring record of 38 points. The highlight of Tom's baseball career in AHS came when he pitched a no-hitter against Long Meadow in his senior year. He went on to play basketball and baseball at Suffield Academy, and then on to UMass on a full scholarship to play baseball. Please join me in welcoming Donna Pisano and family in recognition of her brother, Tommy Quinn. move any further, it's not kind of some closing remarks. I'd just like to, recognize a few people who helped us out, some of which are here and some are not. Don London, many of you may know Mr. Don London, he was the one who provided the plaques for us. He did that voluntarily. He knew that our committee was basically starting out without a budget, and he was very, very eager to help us out. So those of you that know Don, please pass that along to him. And I'd just like everybody in the room to know how grateful we are to Don London for his contributions. So give Don London a applause. The program tonight, our basketball coach, our girls basketball coach here, Harold Cody, did that class, and he did that. He runs a print shop in town on Mill Street. He was kind enough to put these together for us, so we were able to get a nicer program, for what we were able to spend is what we thought we had at the time. So just like to put that out there. Harold, thank you, Harold Cody. He's not here either, but thanks, Harold, for what you did there. The flowers were done by Federal Concepts by Tom. They were done, again, not making much money at all for them. They really reached out to us and gave us a fantastic price. I'd like to thank them. And finally, there were two groups that really went out of their way and really made fantastic donations to us. One was Paul Knight and the Knight family. They donated an awful lot of money to help us get through this, and certainly isn't to embarrass them, but it was a wonderful contribution, and I'd like to thank them publicly for that. So thanks so much. And inside the program, the first page, retired employees, the Agawam employees, retired employees, made incredible donations to us. And I'd like to recognize them. We know they're recognized in the program. They really went out of their way for us, and we deeply appreciate that. Thank you very much to all of the retirees who said okay to the athletic golf. So thank you very much for that. Believe it or not, this concludes our program, and anyone else's speeches, I guess it was long enough. On behalf of Superintendent Bill Spelly, on behalf of Superintendent Spelly, Principal Steve Nancy, the school department administrators present, and of course the mayor, city council, and school committee, I'd like to thank everybody for coming today. We really would like your feedback. I mean, I know that this is the first time we've done this program, and I've gotten some positive feedback. I can understand that. You wouldn't believe this athletic director. I really get more negative feedback than anything else. I'm okay with it. So it's okay to let us know. We really thought it was great, but you know what? Here's an idea, or I went to something or something else. I can't, just like I tell my coaches, I can't guarantee that I'm going to implement what you're doing, but I certainly will take it under advisement as my practice. So I deeply appreciate everybody's patience. I know it was sort of one day, or almost at 3 o'clock, but we did it in 3 hours. I think that's pretty good. Thank you for coming. And please join me in